What's going on, everybody? Solvent here. In this video, I got bits and pieces from a lot of people, so I'm going to give a lot of people shout outs. First and foremost, we're going to go with Andrew Sheets. He was the one that kind of led me into this. We've got Mr. Porter. He also did a video on this, and John Crump. And all the links will be in the description below. So if you want to go follow these channels, go follow them. They all do amazing work. But this one is just, if you don't know the government's coming for your guns or your anything, yeah, you're kind of, your brain's not all there. So let's get into this video, and yeah, down with this group of government officials. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. And Solvent, deuces.
Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. Have you noticed how the government pretends this country works? That they own it like a landlord or are just kind enough to let us live in it as long as they get to set the rules and extract from us payment. That's actually not how this works. That's exactly backward. We own the property we own, and the government is here to serve us by ensuring that our God-given rights and certain common goods are secured, and by rules ascended to by the vote of the people.
America, fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls, man.
But the rise of a self-proclaimed expert class of bureaucrats is trying to flip that understanding on its head, a phenomenon we see in the ever-growing and expanding and rapacious administrative state full of useless agencies like the ATF.
Special Officer Doofy.
Oh, hi, Doofy.
I thought of all this while watching this newly released and purposefully blurry video of a door-to-door ATF confiscation attempt happening in real time. Take a look.
Hey, sir, how are you? Good.
Hey, Nick, what's going on, man?
How's it going?
Hey, with the ATF.
Okay.
Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo.
I'm hearing about a solvent trap that you ordered.
Okay.
Do you still have it?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Okay.
Okay, is there somebody here who can answer questions?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, I don't really know how to respond to that, sir.
Well, we're actually here to recover them because they're being used as suppressors.
Do you have a warrant?
I don't have a warrant. If you let me finish, I can talk to you.
Bullshit.
Okay?
Yep.
They're being used as suppressors. Now, we're just here to pick them up. If you don't have it, you can sign that you don't have it anymore.
I'm not going to sign anything.
Okay, don't sign anything. So what will happen is if you're caught with it, we'll prosecute you federally.
Sure.
For an NFA item.
Me to suck a bag of dicks.
Okay. You're obviously going to be on the radar now. I appreciate all the cooperation. We just came to pick it up and have it destroyed. But since you're being such a polite person,
I mean,
we'll leave it at that.
You've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
We know what you're using it for, correct? I mean, you bought a jig
you
with
don't.
it for your AR-15?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So,
You got anything you want to say about that?
I don't answer questions.
Would you mind telling us why?
I don't answer questions.
This
So
isn't
if
the
you
first time we've done this?
if you want to come back with the warrant, I mean, you can do that.
Okay,
Take your hand out of
absolutely.
your pocket for me, please. I'm sorry? Take your hand out of your pocket for me. You're on my property. I can put
Everybody in together now. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
my hands where I want them. All right, we're law enforcement. We're talking to you in an official capacity, so you're on my property. Have your hand in your pocket, so.
Catch me outside. How about that?
We're not trying to be jerks here. You are, though. You're the ATF. I mean, you're the ATF. Come
We're
on.
idiots?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, what'd
I
you
said
say?
you're the ATF.
Correct.
Your entire job is to take away people's guns.
I don't think you have any idea what our job is.
I know
actually.
everything about your job.
Oh,
all
please
it is
tell
to
me.
A very special guest, Officer Dan. Hi, kid. We're going to learn everything you kids need to know about the police. Yeah. Number 8. Becoming a police officer takes a lot of training. It took me 3.5 months to become a police officer.
With the Second Amendment
Okay.
shall not be infringed.
So, violent criminals with guns that we take off the street.
The assault rifles found at the murder, similar to these, were traced back to a U.S. gun shop. Where they came from and how they got there is a scandal so large, some insiders say it surpasses the shootout at Ruby Ridge and the deadly siege at Waco. To understand why, it helps to know something about Project Gunrunner, run by ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
At Waco, at Ruby Ridge.
Oh my gosh.
My dogs.
You need to quit.
I need to keep my dogs in the house.
You need to quit reading so many
Give me a
books.
break.
You're watching too many shows and reading too many books.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll find you again someday.
No.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you, I'm out.
Anyway, have a good one.
Yeah,
I appreciate the cooperation.
Take it easy.
Yes, sir.
Watch out for the dogs, guys.
Joining me now to discuss is the man behind that video, Nick Vitello, a Florida resident, lifetime gun enthusiast. Thanks for being here tonight, Nick.
Thanks so much for having me on, Kara.
Great. So first, let me just say hats off to you. You kept calm. You knew your rights. Is that the first time you've had the ATF at your door?
Absolutely. It's the first time I ever had law enforcement at my door in this house ever. And, I might have came off as calm and relaxed. It was a very scary situation having federal agents at your door. It might not sound like it, but it was difficult to speak at the time. It was very intense, to say the least.
I completely understand where you're coming from on this. So, of course, I'll be careful in speaking about this because we know how federal agents are. They don't need any impetus to try and make someone's life hell, no matter how innocent the person may be. So they're talking about a gun solvent trap here, and they're talking about suppressors. What is the specific item, at least, that they're talking about or describing?
What they were inquiring about is, like you said, a device called a solvent trap, which one end is threaded. It can go onto the barrel of a rifle, and you can collect, filter, and reuse solvent for your weapon. Everybody in the field knows good solvent can be expensive, and having the ability to reuse it definitely comes in handy. Now, why the ATF is involved at all with solvent traps is it is common, or at least you're able to file a Form 1 with the ATF and take a solvent trap and convert it into a silencer, following the correct paperwork and receiving the correct tax stamp. So that is why the ATF is involved. At the time of the alleged solvent trap purchase, this was completely legal, and people were doing this without any kind of problems, really, as long as they were following the right steps. But due to Chevron deference, the ability of the ATF to reinterpret laws, change definitions, and just completely redefine their regulations, it's now looking like doing this is illegal.
And that's what I think really bothers me about the ATF. As you said, people, they can do this, they can fill out paperwork, they can pay their fee, their fine. And next thing you know, in the blink of an eye, the ATF can say, just kidding, that's illegal. And then they can show up at people's doorsteps. So that's a very big issue. When you're talking to the ATF and you're going back and forth with them, they seem quite affronted. They said, you don't know who we are. We fight criminals. And I think, sure you do. Have you seen the state of our cities right now? You got gangbangers with 1 million felonies on their rap sheet, and they're sitting there with their guns, and what gets dropped a lot is their weapons charges get dropped. A lot of them get in and out of prison, no big deal, and yet they go after law-abiding gun owners who they say, pay your fines, do this. Next second, that's illegal, and we're showing up at doorsteps now. Does it just bother you how the ATF is allowed to run this nation with impunity and to act like when they show up on people's doorsteps unannounced without a warrant, they get to act like they own the place?
Exactly. It's completely absurd. From my point of view as a constitutionalist, bureaucracies like this should not be able to set laws. All of these laws should have to go through Congress to be approved. And they won't, because most of them do, in fact, violate the Second Amendment. And like you said, I'd like anybody to take a look at former agent Brandon, I believe his name is Brandon Garcia from Colorado Springs, in his 6-page resignation letter from the ATF. What you'll read is, they're not doing what you signed up to do. They're not going out there. They're not fighting criminals. The vast majority of who they're targeting are middle-class Americans in relatively quiet neighborhoods such as mine. And yeah, it's not what you signed up for.